Hey guys, it's October, so it's 3 times showering till Christmas and then I will shave myself. Woohoo! Canon was so kind and sent me a new wide-angle lens. It is the 14mm F2.8L II USM, and I will compare this super wide-angle lens with Canon's 11-24mm f4 in terms of distortion. So have fun watching this review in English, and as usual, if you have any questions about this product, leave me a comment below. Thank you. It's already October here in Germany. It's around 12 to 15 degrees centigrade, and I will show you the specs of the 14mm f2.8L II USM. And of course we're going to see how this lens is in terms of distortion, so the edges. Do they fall really in the background compared to the 11-24mm? And I have birthday, by the way, in a couple days. So if you have an extra EOS 1DX Mark II and you don't need it, or 800mm f5.6, thank you very much guys, or an additional GoPro Hero 5 Black, thank you very much. So enjoy this video in English, and if you have any questions, leave me a comment below. This video is entirely shot on the 5D Mark IV, and all photos and videos with the 11mm are taken with the 5D Mark II. The Canon EF 14mm f2.8 feels really valuable with its 645 grams. On this lens the biggest diameter is about 80mm and the lens itself is 94mm long. You can't detach the lens hood from the lens, which I found not too bad because it prevents you from scratching the front element. Obviously the front element prevents you from using a filter, but there's a gel filter holder at the rear of the lens. Here's the ultimate comparison in terms of vignetting of the 14mm f2.8 and the 11-24mm f4. Stopping some apertures down on the 14mm till approximately f4 will help you to get rid of the dark edges. With the 11-24mm you have to go beyond f6.3, unfortunately, because you start losing even some more light. These files are available for download, the link is in the video description below. The more you stop down on this lens, the less is the lens flare pronounced. Here are a couple examples for you. Take a look at the upper left to see which aperture I used for the footage. The 11-24mm does have a better performance in terms of lens flare compared to the 14mm. I mean, in some cases I really like the lens flare if it's not pronounced too excessive. The closest focusing distance on the 11mm is about 20 centimeters, which is equivalent to 0.65 feet. With the 11-24mm you can get as close as 28mm, which is approximately 0.9 feet to your subject, shooting at 24mm. I figured out myself that shooting macro shots on the 14mm is a really nice feature, with such a nice focusing distance. You get a stunning blur background with a nice and round looking bokeh bolt, so a nice companion to have for macro shots as well. The bokeh on this lens looks just stunning. Shooting wide open gives you a really nice creamy blur background with some round bokeh bolt. If you want, you will be able to wipe out the background completely. If you want to play around with these files, you may do so. There's a link in the video description below for download. I'm here in the one and only gym in Rottgau. The perfect one. I mean, there are many around, but that's the perfect one. To test out the 14mm f2.8. How it performs for architecture photography. I mean, it's a super wide angle lens and you can use it perfectly for interior stuff. And that's what I'm gonna show you right now, so stay tuned. And as I promised, this lens is perfect when you shoot architecture. You're able to get everything in frame, even when there's only a small amount of space available. This lens works best on a full frame body like the Canon EOS 5D. I actually thought that I would see more distortion, but this lens does its job properly when it comes to the edges. Of course, standing straight in front of a skyscraper gives you the impression that the building would fall into the background, but in most cases the lens does its job really good. Especially when you travel a lot or you do event photography, this lens is great to have. Compared to the Canon 11 to 24mm, which I reviewed a while ago as well, this here is much easier to carry due to its low weight, and it's not front heavy at all. We're here at Rottgau, which is my hometown, as I said before, at this building here to test out the distortion of the 14mm compared to the 11 to 24mm. And as I have stated, the 14mm does not distort that much as I expected compared to the 11 to 24mm, and it costs over 1000 euros less than the ultra wide angle zoom beast. If you want to have the option to zoom, the 11 to 24mm does the job in terms of ultra wide angle lenses. I just found the 14mm the better option for me due to its weight, and it's much easier to carry around than the 11 to 24mm. Do you have any of these two lenses, or do you have both of them? Leave me a comment below which one is your favorite and state why, please. There's some space under this video for you. I am in Eppertshausen, that's south of Frankfurt, to show you that this lens is perfect for taking interior photography, because inside it's an Italian restaurant and it's kind of dark, it's more relaxed inside. So, and it's not the brightest restaurant that you probably know, but it's really good to have that lens with an open aperture of f2.8 for interior photography, and that's what I'm showing you right here. As previously stated in this video, you don't have any limits in terms of photography with this lens, as long as you don't need to zoom. I use this lens now for over 2 weeks and I can't get enough of it. If you like to shoot landscape or nature, you can make the most out of it. As a hobby photographer, or if you do it as your main income, the result speaks for it. I know the price is not the lowest one for wide angle, but for about 1900 euros you get a decent build quality and image quality as well. Try it by yourself and you will see there are so many possibilities to use this lens. For instance, wedding photography would be another great option when you can use this lens. I love the 14mm. It feels really nice and I'm using it for almost 2 weeks now on my Canon EOS 5D Mark IV. I actually thought of getting the 11 to 24mm f4, but it's way too heavy if you travel a lot. Of course you have the zoom and it's just a bit better in terms of distortion. But this one here has a maximum aperture of f2.8 and it's light compared to the other wide angle lens. When you ask me which wide angle lens I would go with, it's definitely the 14mm. I put a link in the description below that guides you to this lens on the Canon website. Don't forget to download these files, the link is in the description below. See you soon und tschüss from Germany. Bye!